Well, this morning I woke up with a dream, and at first I didn't really know what it was meaning, but anyway, I'm going to read this passage of scripture first, and then I'm going to try to remember all of my dream. But in Matthew 9:35 it says, Jesus is calling for working hands, and it says the need for workers. Jesus traveled through all the towns and villages of that area, teaching in the synagogues and announcing the good news about the kingdom. And he healed every kind of disease and illness. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them because they were confused and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. He said to his disciples, "The harvest is great, but the workers are few. So pray to the Lord, who is in charge of the harvest. Ask him to send more workers into his fields." Now these people, they were confused and helpless because they had a group over here that were saying they were godly, living for God, but they were never demonstrating. They were never demonstrating the power of God. So they were confused. Here's a man that's coming on the scene, this one man, Jesus, who is demonstrating, who is healing the sick, who's casting out devils. They're confused. They're like, what's going on here? You know? So anyway, I woke up with this dream, and me and Heather were on this combine, and we were in this field of we were in this field of corn. We were combining the corn, and she was actually the driver of the combine, and I was the one. I was riding on the outside of the machine, making sure everything was working properly, making sure the grain was getting, processed properly, and making sure the motor was running good. Well, next thing I know, we're having a breakdown. Our machine is breaking down, and so I'm telling Heather, look, we got to go back up to the barn. We got to fix this machine. And so we go up to the barn, and we come find out there was some filters that were clogged up. So I was trying to get the there was some I don't know what you call it. They're in front of filters. They're just like shields, maybe. There's some shields that I have to take off to get to the filters, and I'm trying to take off these shields, and I'm noticing there's some rain coming. And so I'm like, well, I got to hurry up. I got to get this thing fixed so we can go back out there and get some corn cut, so I get this phone call. Hey, look, it's about to rain. Y'all have to get back out in the field, get some more corn cut before it rains. I'm like, I know. So anyway, well, it came. I didn't get it fixed in time the rain comes. Well, when a crop gets rained on, you got to wait for it to dry up, because if you put it in the grain bin wet and you don't dry it first, it's going to get moldy and it won't be no good. So we was going to have to wait for it to dry up. Anyways, then I woke up, and it was just like, we are the machines. We're going out, and we're combining corn. We're harvesting, not corn, but we're harvesting souls. We cannot afford to break down. We cannot afford to break down while we're harvesting souls. We cannot afford for our filters to get clogged up.
That's right.
We cannot afford for our AC to mess up, for our heater to mess up. Listen, we come into somewhere, and we come into a situation where there's some heated discussion going on. There's some fighting going on. We're going to need our AC unit to work. Bring the coolness of the Spirit, a soft answer.
Yeah. Amen.
When we come into a cold, dark place, we're going to need our heater to work. We're going to need the fire of the Holy Ghost to come in and heat things up.
Amen.
When a harvester is preparing to harvest, he is going through his machine. He's greasing his bearings. He's changing oil, motor oil. He's preparing his machine to run so he don't have breakdowns. That's what happens when we have to spend time with our Jesus.
Amen.
Because that's where He changes our motor oil. He greases our bearings, so to speak.
Yeah.
He don't fix, but He transforms us into a new creature.
Yeah.
You see, there's another harvester out there. He's the enemy harvester. And he's trying to harvest souls. But we have to be transformed so we look brand new, so we're actually someone that people want to see.
Amen.
Because you see, we have to be a new creature. We have to look inviting for souls. If we're someone that's ran down, if we're someone that's not operating correctly, people aren't going to want they ain't going to want that kind of machine to work.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen. I thought it was very interesting. The filter is your perspective. The filter was clogged. Your perspective needs transformed.
Yes,
That's
Jesus.
good.
Yes, it does. Praise God.
Amen. Good word.